Welcome back. Digital Trends has you covered with extensive coverage right here at CES. I tell you what, day 2 has already begun, and it is a little bit brutal already because there's so much technology to cover, and we're actually going to dip into a very new arena for digital trends and for CES in itself. Joining me at the table, Greg Nibbler. Hi, Greg.
Hello.
And at the table, joining him next to him, we've got Richard Huang, the CEO of Cloudius9, which is all about weed technology. Hi, Richard.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
That's okay, I can't say extensive. So we're going really great live on YouTube. So hello there. If you've got comments, please let yourself known. Hi to Andrew, who's already going to be right back. But let's have a chat about your Hydrology9 vaporizer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cloudius9 is a startup in the vaporizer space. So we launched our first product, the Hydrology9, in May of 2017. And it's essentially a fusion of a water pipe and a vaporizer. So you can see it as a modern version of a water pipe. And we actually came from the consumer electronic side of things. And then when we were looking into the cannabis space from the outside, we're seeing that a lot of the companies are racing to create the smallest, most portable vaporizer. So we realized that the whole water, that basically is a modernized version of a pipe. And so we see that the whole water pipe segment is underserved. So as our first product, we want to create enough product differentiator. So we decided to tackle kind of the modernized version of water pipe. Hopefully people will remember us and create some brand out of it.
I think that evolution of combining technology with especially this sector is pretty interesting. I'd love to talk about that, but taking a look at your product right now. So again, this is called the Hydrology9.
Yeah.
Hydrology9. So tell us about it. Like, what sets it apart? What makes it different than the competitors' products?
Okay, so like I said, it's a water pipe type of experience. So on the mouthpiece side, usually the vaporizer is kind of like a little straw, but we made it so the mouthpiece is more of a glass. So it's kind of that whole water pipe experience that you have. And we made it so that it's somewhat leak-proofed, so you can actually take it around and it be portable. And also the whole makeup, the aesthetic design of the product was geared to make sure that it's modernized and it doesn't, it has that futuristic look to it. We actually designed something a little bit different on the bottom. It's it's more for our industry, but it's a little stir that stirs the heating chamber so that it helps evenly distribute the heat while the stuff is in there getting cooked.
Richard, it seems like it wouldn't look out of place in a kitchen because it almost looks a little bit like a pepper grinder, which is nice and handy. We'll talk about the technology and the design because this is something that's, like you said, only recently really been on the market, less than a year now.
Yeah, definitely.
Sleek design.
The design, we actually had a lot of hurdles going into the space. There's not a lot of the product that does this water integrated into the device because inherently you want to have the vapor or the air going through the whole thing, but you also need the water there without it leaking out. Those are two kind of conflicting concepts because how do you prevent water from leaking while the vapor going in? So it took us a while and it finally clicked at one point. We did a lot of trial and error. So it was a new problem that we had to tackle. Just like any industry, when you're trying to create something new, you have a new problem. For lack of a better word, there's not a lot of things you can copy. And so, so it took us a while to get the design finished. But because there's some added benefit to that though, because we're not kind of referencing any other product, it allows us to create a product that is unique in nature. Inherently unique because in terms of the aesthetic, because we're not looking at any reference. So in order to solve the problem, it almost have to look like this. So it creates that different look that people are not used to, which is in a good way. Yeah.
I think that's an interesting point. I mean, this is such a new realm of technology.
Sure.
Like as far as what's going on, I feel like it's just in the last few years that this has happened. Where people are starting to invent the technological side of advancing advancing bongs and pipes, basically.
All right, I didn't say the word bong, but yeah, you did.
But I'm just saying, let's be
it's
honest.
all good, right?
I mean, that's what it is. So, you're kind of in like this Wild West era where, you're at the forefront of this, of this brand new technology. And I was curious about this, and actually our emerging tech editor, Drew Prindle, was talking about this. CES has an area for all kinds of technology. There's pretty much anything you can think of. And yet the fact that there's hundreds of millions of dollars really going into marijuana and this kind of technology, vaporizing technology, but there's not a lot of presence here at CES for that stuff. And these are inventors just like everybody else, just like you, with really innovative products. Why do you think it's not being represented quite as much?
Well, the short answer to that is CES is a very mainstream trade show, and the cannabis industry is not. It's not really there yet. Just to be more specific, the purpose of exhibitor, coming from the exhibitor point of view, is to acquire a new customer, maybe to get some meetings done, media coverages. But if you look at it from the customer acquisition side, you're not going to see Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy, Target carrying or embracing the cannabis tech anytime soon. And rightfully so, there's social stigma they have to deal with. Even if 10% of people is offended, they're going to have a problem. And and also, of course, being so big, there's potential legal ramifications. Right. So, you look at the smaller or mid-sized business, like distributors or retailers that want to take advantage of it. They're not, honestly, they're not set up for it. Just take a very surface level example. They will probably need a new bank account. Their credit card processor wouldn't work. They will have problem with their existing line of credit. So, essentially, in order to participate in the industry, you almost have to have a separate entity, right? And then so that means that at this trade show, there's just not going to be a lot of trigger-ready customers. So without the customer, that defeats, half the purpose. Now, the media side, you guys could probably speak for it more. I mean, you guys are cool, but there's going to be a lot of media outlet that still has reservation on covering these technologies. So we're not going to get the best result. You probably have 50%. So without media, without customer, there's not a whole lot of meeting to be done here. So I mean, that's kind of the customer. That's basically, it's hard for us to justify the ROI, for participating.
That does make sense then, actually, from the business side. So what you need is a cannabis electronics show. That's what.
And then that brings it to another point, because the cannabis industry has existed for so long in kind of this underground type of tone. So in order to survive, it has developed a very extensive network of trade show of its own. So, people are used to participating in those trade shows. So, there's competitors as well. So, yeah.
You talk about the market not being mainstream. Who is your target market, and where are the markets that are most popular for your products?
Even though it's not mainstream in a business perspective, but there's a disconnect between consumer, I think, and the actual overall environment, because I think it is a mainstream product to a degree to consumer already. Is getting more and more so. So I mean, our target audience in a customer persona perspective, it could be anybody. Anybody who appreciates this tech, who wants more healthy consumption options, and especially new people who would casual users, right? That doesn't really want to have a big old bong in their house, So, these are the type of customers that would really embrace, vaporizer in general. As far as the target market, it's really all over the world. United States, of course, Canada, Australia are all really, really big markets. Also in Europe as well. So, I mean, it's actually, the customer aspect is actually pretty mainstream. It's just that because of the restriction in our industry, it's hard for us to integrate with, the mainstream consumer electronics tech.
We are live at the moment, and Blake, who's tuning in for day 2, well done, of the CES coverage on YouTube, says, you know what, if you do offer any free samples, he'll give you a high rating.
Okay. Okay, all right. Awesome.
I appreciate the pun.
Thank you. Yeah.
That one.
Well,
I hope you understand.
From woe to go.
I'm not going to let that go.
So what's on the horizon for Cloudius9? Like, where do you see this going? I mean, obviously you have this product, which is amazing. Anything in the future that we can look forward to as far as on the tech aspect of it?
So I mean, Hydrology9 has been out on the market for about half a year. It's currently in about 1,000 retail locations, and so we want to definitely ride the momentum. And we have found that in this industry, the key thing is just like any industry, but more so here for some reason, is that the product development or the product release or having innovated new product is very important. It gets you coverages, it gets you exposure, and also it helps build that brand equity. So having good, innovative product that the industry hasn't seen is definitely our top agenda in terms of the company. And going into 2018, we're hoping to break more grounds, do something different. Our idea has always been, really dissecting the industry and seeing where is a void that we could fill, and so we're going to try to have a couple of new products out this year.
Because your company is only 6 months old, you were saying.
It is, yeah.
That's a little baby.
It is.
What's the game plan then for 2018 for you? New products.
So new products definitely. Consolidating, almost like you're making sure our presence is here, because this industry is booming. So there's a lot of company that comes in and goes relatively quickly. So the consumer knows, in order for a company to establish its trust with the consumers, you got to be able to prove yourself, multiple times. So that's what we're going to try to do. Continue to come out with good products, with good reviews that customer want. So hopefully that's gonna help people remember us.
Looks like you've got a budding product right there. I do wish you all the best. If anyone wants to learn more about the Hydraulic9, is it?
Hydrology9.
Hydrology9. I had my notes and I didn't get it, but I apologize for that. Hydrology9, where can people find out more about your tech vaporizer?
Obviously you can Google, Cloudius9, or you could just go to our website, Cloudius9.com. That's C-L-O-U. I can't spell it. C-L-O-U-D-I-O-U-S and then number 9. Yeah.
Fantastic. Richard, thank you so much for joining us here at Digital Trends. I hope you have a great CES.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Yep.
We've got plenty more coming up, so don't go anywhere.